Today we're talking about different struggles in neurodivergence and how they affect organizing. And I have Nathan who struggles a little bit with organizing. I've worked with him a little bit. Nathan, for you, what's one of in looking kind of at the guide, what's one of the things that's that is a struggle for you in getting and staying organized?
Oh, for me, it's the time management mostly.
Uh-huh. And what do you mean by that? How does that kind of affect you?
Lately, I've noticed that I plan way more things than I actually have time for.
Oh, okay. So you kind of underestimate how much time something is going to take.
Yeah, I assume it'll be done immediately as long as I plan it.
Yeah, I do that sometimes too. It's like, hey, it's just going to happen. And then it takes 20 minutes longer than expected. In my guide, that's one of the parts of time management. And I kind of want to discuss other parts of time management. And then I can talk a little bit about solutions for that. So underestimating time is a big struggle. And sometimes with time management, we just get overwhelmed by this sheer amount of things that we need to get done, whether that's work items or home items, anything like that. The overwhelm um, falls under this. And also, sometimes we tend to lose track of time in our hyper focus on we get doing one thing and don't notice the time. And then it's like, oh, but I wanted to do this other thing. Some of the things that we can do to help with that. And something that might be super helpful for you, Nathan, is um, to time yourself doing certain tasks, whether that's um, doing the laundry or cleaning or vacuuming, things like that. Set a timer and see how long it takes. And then in the future, when you're planning things, you can look at it and say, okay, I know the last time I did it, that this took me 20 minutes. And so I'm going to plan the next 20 minutes to do this task. Um, sometimes sometimes that could be helpful in just kind of putting a number on that, on the amount of time it might take. Another thing, some people like to have a calendar that is scheduled by every like 15 minutes, and you can block out the certain amount of time on your schedule to do it. You could also say, I only have 15 minutes. Maybe with, for example, the vacuuming, it takes you 20 minutes usually, but you only have 15 minutes. Sometimes just starting that task and getting through 15 minutes worth of it and then saying, okay, I did my 15 minutes. That's all I'm going to do today. Sometimes that helps people because it's better than nothing, right? Another thing that can help is limiting distractions, like text messages. So for me, sometimes I'll be doing something and then I get a text message and it totally derails me. So if I'm trying to actually get something done, I will put my phone on do not disturb and not look at it until I've finished whatever task I'm working on. And sometimes instead of saying I'm taking this 20 minutes now to do the vacuuming, that usually, I don't know. I think vacuuming's a thing that it makes sense to do it all at once, but sometimes splitting things up over and doing just part of it over a few days works. Some other ideas are setting a realistic timeline for change or using a timer, like the tomato timer. If you don't know what that is, a tomato timer is something where you work for 15 minutes and then you get a 5 minute break. And then you work for 15 minutes and you get a 5 minute break. And then at the end of an hour of going like that, so I guess after 3 cycles, then you take a longer break. And sometimes that's helpful for people, and sometimes people want to hyper focus. But these are all kind of ideas that can be helpful in this situation. Um, are any of those sticking out to you as something that might be beneficial for you?
I actually did the vacuuming, like for vacuuming, I actually split that last night. Um, and I'm going to do some today so as to spread that task out. But then the stopwatch one really stood out to me. I hadn't considered that before. I kind of wonder if I can gamify that.
Oh, that's another way to do it is gamifying and saying, hey, it took me 20 minutes last time. Can I get it done in 10 or 15 or
Yeah.
um, that's another great idea. Thanks for sharing that idea. So that's just some ideas of things to help with time management. Um, that's what we got for today.